Hey everyone, this is Ryan live from Unbound Vision, and we're back again with another speed drawing video. And guess what? It's another webcomic, right? But this one I think you guys will really enjoy because you don't actually need dialogue for this one. Strangely enough, you don't need dialogue for this one. Even though it will have dialogue in this mini webcomic for our series, you don't actually need dialogue for this one, which is nice because you don't have to understand the language. That's the great thing about visual storytelling, right? Anyone can get it. But, what was I going to say? In terms of the progress for our series right now, we are still in the middle of spiffing up all of our designs, and we are still developing everything as we go. So, if you're wondering what process we're in right now, we are in the middle of the experimental and development stage. And we will be getting started on final animation fairly soon, within these next 2 months or so. We'll get started in the final animation, but there's a lot of things to do before then. And when it comes to these mini webcomics, I mean, I'll keep bringing you guys these mini webcomics every week, because I don't know, I mean, it's just a nice gift to you guys, you know? I don't want to just charge you up front for it, you know? It'd be kind of weird. I mean, if you want digital prints, though, if you want a digital print of all these webcomics put in a nice little booklet, you can definitely purchase that from us. Well, we can sell you that, because it'll be nice, because you don't have to sort through everything on our Facebook page or our Twitter page, because, you know, that stuff is transient, right? It's not going to stay there forever. Even though you could go to our photo section, but that's like, what is that? That's like sorting through, like, thousands of images, right? Who wants to do that? And even though this comic is free, but you can, at some point, purchase it from us in the future, and you can get it all in a booklet, you know, bring it with you anywhere you go, and it'll be nice. Even though you can technically from your phone bring it anywhere you go, but you know, you'd have to go to our Facebook page, and you have to go to our Twitter page or our Instagram page, and that could be a real pain, because, you know, it's not nearly as easy as actually having the book in hand, which is always really nice. And yeah, this is gonna be a really fun comic. I really enjoyed this one, and yeah. I mean, you guys might be wondering, do I do this like, you know, fully focused? And sometimes I have to check emails. You know, that's just kind of the fact of just, you know, doing anything. You gotta check your emails just to make sure you got the proper message at the proper time, so you can properly schedule things. It's a bunch of, like, you know, it's just a bunch of scheduling stuff. But luckily, if you have people helping you out on that, then it just makes it so much easier. It makes it a lot easier just to have someone that actually helps you on that process. Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't want to explain to you guys what happens in these comics. I think it's better if you just kind of get a good gauge on it when you see it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, because you'll be able to see the final thing there. But here, you'll probably get a good preview of exactly what's going to happen. And we'll be releasing this new webcomic for you guys tomorrow. Probably in the morning. Tomorrow morning, sometime around then. And if you're wondering what series we're working on right now, we're working on Takeshi. And Takeshi is a dark superhero story set in Osaka, Japan. You probably already knew that, but I have to explain it in case you're new to this channel, or you're new to whatever it is that we do at Unbound Vision. And if you actually search Unbound Vision on Google, you can find our Facebook page, you can find our Twitter page, you can find our Instagram page, and you can find our YouTube page. And eventually, we will have to branch out to Tumblr, to Reddit, to DeviantArt, to Vimeo, to everywhere. We have to branch out to basically everywhere, but I can only do so much. Alone, I can only do so much. I've recently already established us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and just doing that while also trying to work full-time on Takeshi, the actual anime web series that we're working on, is crazy. Because I have to do all that. I have to manage interns, I have to manage volunteer workers, and I have to work on the series, and I have to work on the mini webcomics, and I have to branch us out, and I have to expand the business plan, and I have to schedule all of our things. And I have to make sure everything makes sense. I have to make sure everything's flowing. And of course, that's why I need a production manager too, because the production manager keeps us all on schedule. He says, you know, he checks our quality, he checks our progress report, and it's really important. And, you know, sometimes I hear people saying like, oh, they're production people. What do they even do? They do a lot. I know because I used to work in production. Production is responsible for making sure that your product gets out on time and that it actually remains up to your quality standards. Because you can only see so much. The production team, which can involve editing, which involves organizing and compiling and making sure everything is put together neatly and beautifully so that when it transfers overseas or anywhere, online, anything, they know it's good, they know it's ready, and they know it's... Basically, they're the people who assure you that what you've done is not for naught, right? They're the people who reduce the risk, I should say. I guess they reduce the disadvantages and the risks that you have to take. And they say, here's something we could do, you know, here's a direction we could take with this, and this could work. You know, they won't tell you what to do. They'll tell you some of the best options that you have. They're almost like fiduciaries. Production managers and production assistants and production people, they're almost like fiduciaries because they actually help you get on the right path, and they actually help you accelerate on that path, which is great because a lot of people underestimate, you know, just having that second eagle eye, right? Because you can only see so much, and the people working on it can only see so much, but the people who work in production see everything. They see everything. It's their job to see everything, to point out all the tiny little mistakes, to point out all the things that need fixing. And it's extremely important. It's extremely important to the artists because, you know, without the art team, there is no art, obviously. But without the production team, there is no change or innovation or developments, right? You can only develop so much when you're just one art team. But when you have another team helping that art team and supplementing that art team, suddenly everything starts flowing much better and things get done on a schedule. And you start seeing that, hey, you know, it's even if it's not up to the standards now, at least we got it done and we have the basis for what we need, and then we take that basis and then we just improve on it. Very simple. And it can be a stressful process sometimes, but the more you get used to it, the better it becomes. And yeah, I think right now we actually have our production manager working out of studio at the moment, which is his call. It's his call. Maybe someday we'll have to find a new production manager, but for right now, it works. And, you know, luckily, we don't need the production manager in every day of the week. Usually he can just look at our stuff online and check it out and then video chat us and see what's up. Oh, yeah. Getting back to this comic, though. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with these poses and these facial expressions, and I was having a lot of trouble with these hands. And a lot of people say, like, oh, you know, we're they're experts at hands, but hands are difficult. It doesn't matter how many times you do hands are always difficult. They're some of the most intricately detailed body parts on the human body, and that's true in real life and in drawing. Like when you actually look at real life, it's like there's a lot of things that go on in your hands, and you probably wouldn't even know that you have like all these fat pads beneath, you know, your fingertips and everything, and you have muscle on this bottom layer of your hand, and on the top layer you have barely anything. You have like maybe some like, you know, you have some like tendons, you have some nerves, you have some veins, and that's really it. And bones. It's mostly bones on the top of your hand, right? But on the bottom it's like all your fleshy material. And you have to always remember that when you're drawing hands, right? Because you could get it wrong very easily. You get it wrong very easily. If you know the muscle structure though of the human body, it can really help you out. Just really basic stuff like, you know, your deltoid, your biceps, your triceps in the back, which when developed kind of look like a horseshoe. Your sternocleidomastoid, which connects to your sternum right here, and your clavicle right here, and it hooks up to the, I believe it's the back end of the jaw, but I think it's called the mastoid process. Anyway, it's this really like strong muscle you see coming down your neck, which is always prevalent in a lot of artists' work. And it's one of the most important muscles to show because it always seems to pop up, especially for muscular figures. But that's just me, and you know, talking about like really simple, super simple like muscular structures. Your trapezoids are also really important because you can actually see those from the front. They actually kind of swoop over from the front, right? But most of the time, like most of the time your muscles are covered over by your clothes, except for your extremities and your face. But your facial muscles are crazy complicated. And I think we're reaching the end of this video pretty soon. Yeah, we're on the last frame, and yeah, we're on the last frame. And if you're wondering like what this is in terms of the like event that's happening in this webcomic, it's supposed to be White Day. Like Valentine's Day was a long time ago, and White Day in Japan is the day when boys give gifts back to the girls who gave them gifts on Valentine's Day. And it's usually March 14th. White Day is March 14th, and that's the day that would almost be like similar to our Valentine's Day, where the guys give gifts to the girls. But on Japanese Valentine's Day, girls give gifts to guys, and then on White Day, guys give gifts to girls. So it's kind of like this really nice equal exchange, right? It's not like this one-way thing, which is really interesting, right? But yeah, that's it for this video. And I hope you guys enjoy these speed drawing videos and me just yammering about random things. Or maybe not, they're not so random. Anyways, I'll see you next time. I hope you continue to stay inspired. Bye.